Welcome to another Midlife Crisis Guys video. Great to have you along again. Before I do anything, a couple of things I just need to clarify. No more motorway videos. No more me moaning and moaning about rubbish. Twice. And also no more videos about me buying airline seats for my man shed. Just before we get on with this video as well, I reckon, in all seriousness, I need a bit of a trim, bit of a haircut, bit of a beard trim. Good morning, a bit of filming on a rainy day in the man shed. I'm just going to do a quick video, quick introduction as to what I am going to be taking with me on my imminent bikepacking trip, which at long last is now only weeks away. I don't know if you can hear in the background. I know you can, I've done videos in here before. I'm in my little man shed and it is absolutely larruping with rain, and I don't mind because I really want as much rain and nasty weather as possible, which is going to come over and then just blow over, and then in time for a few weeks, a couple of weeks in fact, when I go down south, it's going to be gorgeous for my trip. Here's praying anyway. So yeah, the purpose of this video is I just thought I would just talk through a bit about what's in my pannier set for this trip that I'm embarking on. Around what I'm going to be doing is going down south. Got some family living nearby in Chichester. I'm going to start there. I've got a couple of hours to ride from that starting point at Chichester across to Portsmouth via Hayling Island. Hopefully going to catch a little ferry across to Eastney, Eastney Point I think it is, little ferry, and then from Eastney just follow the coast round to Portsmouth, Old Portsmouth Harbour, where I'm going to jump on a ferry, get the ferry across to Ryde. It's just a 20-minute journey across the Solent, and embark on a ride doing the circumference of the Isle of Wight basically. It's going to be about a 4-hour ride, I believe, from Ryde to the other side of the island to where I have got a campsite booked as well. So it's quite a long day. We're looking at like 6 hours in the saddle. I just hope I'm fit enough, I really do. I've been doing bits and bobs this year, just knowing that I am going to be embarking on a bit of a trip this year. Yeah, I can feel the burn already in my legs. Could be a long old ride on the Isle of Wight. There's lots of hills apparently. I am, if I'm honest, a little bit apprehensive about the Isle of Wight. I can't wait, but I think it's a lot more hilly than I realise. Yeah, I'm just slightly apprehensive because the more research I'm doing, I've watched a few videos on YouTube and the Isle of Wight isn't flat. So I believe there's a few decent hills that I'm going to have to negotiate on my quest to get to the other side of the island, but generally it's going to be great, and I am so looking forward to getting out bikepacking again at last. So I have done a video before, put a link up or whatever behind me to show you how I think technically it was when I first got these pannier bags, and I was dying just to get everything out of my rucksack into my pannier bags, and then along came COVID and various things, and you know what, I've got these ages ago and I haven't actually used them in anger yet, so all the more reason to be excited to use these. We've just got to wait, haven't we, Laura? We've just got to wait. Good old Amazon. I don't even know if they're still available, but I'll say from the onset I am well aware that these old style pannier sets are probably getting well and truly what's the word, old-fashioned, for want of a better expression. The new sort of modern bike packers, just like with wild campers as well, everyone is obsessed with this minimalist concept of taking as little and as light as possible. And don't get me wrong, I totally do understand that, and the quest for a light load is fully justified. And I know, after doing a section of the Pennine Way, carrying pretty much 20 kilos on my rucksack and really knackering up my knees, you know, sort of hiking for 20 odd miles with 20 kilos up and down, my Achilles tendon, my knees, you know, and I thought, geez, yeah, I have taken too much stuff here. So don't get me wrong, I fully understand the benefits of packing as lightly as possible. However, to me, I've said this before on previous videos, whether it's about hiking or whatever, when you go off and do something, whether it is hiking or bike packing or wild camping or whatever it is, there is a plethora, that's a good word, isn't it, of videos available on YouTube, and seeing different ways and means that people embark on all these various activities. And you start to get the impression that what the way other people do it, that is the right way. They say this is what you need to do. You need to do this. You must buy that. And I don't know, I am going to say it again, old-fashioned me. I sometimes just repel a little bit about this is what, if someone says this is what you must do, again, if it's regarding saving your knees getting knackered and your Achilles because you're carrying too much, don't buy that, it's too heavy, buy this as an alternative. I kind of do get it, but it doesn't become the law. Don't feel for a minute that you have to do that. If you're going to go and embark on doing something like a hobby with bike packing or camping or whatever, you do it as you choose, whatever suits you and whatever is comfortable for you to do it. So I'm kind of sandbagging here a bit, the expression sandbagging, building up a bit of a defensive wall before I embark on telling you about my gear. But the reason is there will be people watching this shaking their heads in utter disbelief at what I take with me. And it is quite amusing because on my Facebook page, and please do take a look, I posted up this particular image of all this set up on my bike for whence I do embark on going to the Isle of Wight. And it's hilarious. And a guy sort of put a comment, and it did make me laugh because he really, where are you actually going? Because I don't think I'd stipulated that it was the Isle of Wight. And I said, oh, I'm just going off on literally a tour around the Isle of Wight. And this guy sort of said, looking at that lot, he kind of said, I thought you were going to be like doing a tour of doing like the whole of the African continent, you know, touring Africa or something. It really did make me laugh because I did it the same when I went to Anglesey as well. You know, when you actually see my bike fully loading at Anglesey, you think I was going away around the planet for like, you know, a 2-year trip or something. It is ridiculous. But you know what? I don't care what anyone thinks. It's what I want to take with me, and it's what I feel comfortable with. So with all that said, let's take a look at what I take. So here we go. These are said bags. See in the picture behind me, it's the setup. So these are the actual pannier bags themselves. 75 litres in total, which is a lot. That's like a huge rucksack basically. So converted into these two side panniers and the section on the top as well, 75 litres. And let's take a little look inside and see exactly what's what. So, quite important if I'm going to be staying in a campsite is a tent. Tent I'm going to take with me is the, there we go, for the various cameras, it's the Outkit Soloist. This is the tent that I have opted to use for now for my bike packing trips, because at the end of the day it is that little bit smaller, that little bit less bulky for me to use. I've also got in here my fuel stove. It's this particular one, but I've got to be honest, I'm thinking long and hard about this. It's a choice between the fuel stove and the gas stove, and I think the fuel stove is going to be used for those nice relaxing, perhaps short trips out where I have a nice leisurely hike, can take my time. It's nice and laid back for that. There's something about watching and relaxing with that real flame, whereas camping gas you lose the kind of romance somehow of that. Romance, is that the right word? You know what I mean. Sometimes you just want instant heat, you want hot water nice and quickly, and I'm guessing after 6 hours in the saddle I'm going to be pretty hungry and I'm going to want that water to boil, because chances are I'll probably take some kind of boil in a bag type instant high calorie food. So yeah, I'm now sort of thinking I'm going to go along the lines of taking gas with me. Now again, this is going against the whole concept of practicality and more just to use something that I want to use. I was given this for Christmas and it's just got that nice feel to it and it's not that heavy, and yeah, I just thought I want that for camping, so that's going to come with me to the Isle of Wight. Basically, yeah, it's cooking utensils in this bag here, and then in this one, he says nearly knocking his coffee off the edge of the... Again, OutKit, bit of a theme going on here, but this is the, and I haven't used this yet, it's the OutKit Dumo, and it is an air mattress, and I'll put up a picture of what it looks like. But truth be known, I had the Cloud Base, which I've used on many occasions, and it's been absolutely fine, but I just wanted a bit more comfort, I'm not going to lie. And again, after 6 hours in the saddle, it's going to be a long day, it's going to be a long second day as well, getting back round the island, back in time for the ferry. I'm kind of thinking I really do want to get quite comfortable, a comfortable night's sleep if at all possible. So a friend of mine contacted me and has managed to get me a bit of a discount, and yeah, I got the Dumo a bit cheaper, and so yeah, I'm quite pleased and looking forward to using that. So it's a new, hopefully thicker, it's going to be more insulation, more comfort. It's got like an integral pump where I just use my foot, and yeah, so looking forward to using that. And then the other thing which takes up so much space in this bag, it is the Terra Hiker down sleeping bag, but they're still bulky, aren't they? And this has been repaired as well. I had a bit of an unfortunate experience with this when we went to the very murky, wet adventure up on Snowdonia, and again, details I'll put there, and you'll see that this actually split. But my wife has done a great repair job on it because I didn't want to have to fork out and get another one. So yeah, so there you go. So they're the two panniers really there. More water bottles there. So that's kind of like my accommodation and bedding is in those two, and then the main bag here, which again I can get a hell of a lot in. It's just for everything else. That's going to be for my clothes, it's going to be, yeah, so spare clothing, wash gear, first aid kits, that type of thing. Light. Now a lot of people ask me about this light, and I'm going to do it again because it's always so popular, but this thing is fantastic. It's that rubbery gel style. It's actually a bit mucky, but haven't used it in a while. So it's kind of like a storage jar, but it's gel, and you've just got this thing here, which is USB chargeable. Where is it? Oh, it's under there. There we go. USB chargeable. It's also solar, but it's just so good. It's fantastic. Screw it on there and it's your light. And a lot of people have asked me about this, and to be honest, I will again attempt to try and find a link. Find it hard to find this one, but I found something quite similar which I believe they sell in Go Outdoors now. But highly recommend this thing. Absolutely brilliant. So should be on commission for that really, the amount of people that have asked about it. The meal mat, it's always like when I did a wild camp up at a local one up on the hills with a wonderful view, I made a big thing about this. It's fantastic, always good to have, just to sit on, to kneel on, so that's always a must. I've got my little windshield which just goes around the cooking, so that's going to come with me. And like I said, it's just really my wash stuff, first aid kit, bits and pieces. I'm not going to get everything out, but just wanted to give you a little insight as to what goes into my bags. I have got this as well, which you would have seen before. I did use this on all my original trip, and a mate of mine gave me this actually. It is, I think it is an old army bag. I might be wrong. But anyway, either way, it's fantastic. It's so practical, and the fact is it's not designed for bikes, but it is perfect. With these straps, I just literally do strap it on to the handlebars of my bike, so it sits at the front of my bike, and I use that for my camera equipment. So all my GoPros, all my bits and pieces go in there, all the spare batteries, all the charging bricks, that type of thing, everything goes in there, and that sits on the handlebars, easily accessible for me, which is handy. And then finally on the bike as well, I will have this sat across the crossbar, and this is great because I will sit my phone in there and I will stick a charging brick in the side with an attachment. So I, like I said, 4 hours in the saddle, if I'm using, which I will be, I'm going to use Komoot now. Thanks for the recommendation, Mr. Ag. But yeah, I was a bit wary of that before, but I still just couldn't get to grips with any decent apps that kind of navigation apps really, without using Google Maps, which is good, and I used that actually on Anglesey, and that got me round. But I'd like to pre-plan trips, and Komoot, actually, when Andy told me about it, Andy Rag, I took another second look at it, and I thought actually this is really good, and I've bared with it, and I have used it a couple of times, so I'm hoping that's going to perform well for me, and I've already planned all my routes into Komoot. So that's going to sit there, be wired to my plug, and that is actually going to give me voice navigation as well for my trip, so because I don't want to be taking the wrong turning when I'm knackered with all this stuff on the back of my bike. I want to know I'm going the right way. So there we go. So yeah, that will sit there, so my bike, and yeah, just more storage space generally really for probably snacks and things while I'm going around. So yeah, here it is. This is what I'm taking with me. Obviously food, drink. I put a checklist of everything that I want to take with me. I put it up on my Facebook page, and a few people have made some nice comments about that, because I'm trying to be efficient. Please do take a look at my Facebook page, and yeah, you'll be able to access that list on there as well, and just see if I've missed anything off there. I think suntan cream didn't go down on the list, which it should, and I'm hoping that I need it. That would be fantastic. It's one of the first things I did when I was on the Anglesey, was stop off at the Morrison's that was in Bangor, and yeah, cover myself in sun cream. As other people pointed out, actually, where's the beer? Water, obviously I've got 2 main bottles actually on the bike itself. Probably will take extra water as well in one of the bags, and yeah, quite possibly a couple of cheeky little beers maybe as well, and who knows, a nip jar as well, Mr. Rag, as you pointed out. All that I have to do now is wait. And like I said, you can hear the rain pouring down in the background. I don't mind. It can rain as much as it likes now, as long as it doesn't rain in a couple of weeks' time when I drive down south. And it's going to be really good. Thank you for the... I've had a few messages already saying enjoy the trip, looking forward to your video, which is really kind of people. So thanks for that, and I hope I can deliver. So I hope you enjoyed that, just a little insight into what I'm going to be taking with me. Thank you very much for watching. Any comments, please do leave a comment, or please give me a like. That would be great. And if you have stumbled upon this video, please, yeah, join me for the ride, and why not subscribe, click the bell as well, get notifications of when I upload videos, because obviously, like everyone else, with the lockdown that's been, I'm not going to deny it's been a bit sporadic, and some of the content of the videos that I've uploaded has been a bit questionable, to say the least. But I'm hoping with things going relatively back to normal, or something as close to normal anyway, I'm going to start getting out and about in a bit as well. So looking forward to it, and I'll always document it and YouTube it. So yeah, it'd be great to have you along for the ride. Take care, and I'll see you hopefully in the Isle of Wight.